Coach.
Yeah.
Drop one, pick one up. Let's talk about the Lake Superior State game. I felt like you guys' energy was different from the game prior, and you guys really got into sets and then really powered through and finished sets, each one of them.
Yeah, yeah. It was good to see that kind of rebound, and it wasn't without. It didn't happen organically. We had to talk about it. So in film on Saturday morning after what happened against Ferris, we're really just, we actually started out okay against Ferris, and then it just kind of fell apart. But we kind of addressed the need to have a little bit more energy. And again, last week I sat here and talked about how it starts with me. And I made a really conscious effort to be more involved throughout the match and make sure I'm bringing energy to the team during that. I'm not saying I'm the reason that happened and that was what happened, but I think all of us putting that work in to have a different approach to the court, it mattered a lot, and you can see the results of that.
And then, can you talk about Rain Thompson's play, especially against Lake Superior State? I mean, 13 kills. I felt like every time she got set, that ball was not getting returned.
Yeah, she's had a couple of matches like that so far in her career where it just felt like everything she did ended up working in her favor. And it's not without the work. She is one of the most hardworking athletes, not only on the court but off the court. She really puts a lot of work in the weight room. She comes in, she watches film constantly, asks so many questions about her game and how to be better. Is willing to change. That coachability is really a huge part to her success. And it was exciting. It was exciting to see her have those results. We got to keep on going, right? She's a little volatile right now. Some matches are great, some are not. But I'm really proud of her because that's just a direct reflection of the work she's doing. And as a sophomore, I mean, she still has so much room to grow and get better, but these little glimmers of who she can be are definitely exciting.
Awesome. Then we look at matchups ahead, your thoughts on them and what you guys have to do to end up on the winning side of that.
So kind of a redemption week for us, right? We went down to Purdue Northwest and Parkside and got kicked around a little bit. We were just not quite there mentally. But those are two quality programs. They're doing some nice things this season. And so, Purdue Northwest, their greatest strength is their serving. They're a very good serving team, and they can get teams in trouble. And then they keep the ball off the ground, and that's really kind of the nature of the game, right? Our big thing is going to be applying the things we learned from the last time we played them, the development we've had between when we played them and now, and using the home court to our advantage and trying to get wins there, because there are so many huge implications this weekend with those matchups. Because if you look at the standings, there is just an absolute cluster in the middle, and so if we can find a way to get 2 wins here this weekend, we could be staring third place. After our start and how slow it was, to be third place in the conference would be great. Is that our goal? No, our goal is to go out there and play the best volleyball we can, but those could be the rewards of our labor out there. So looking forward to it. And then Parkside, very physical. Their defense is really scrappy, and they just kind of took it to us last time. Like I felt like we just got beat. But again, we're a different team. They stumbled last weekend, had a tough loss against Wayne State, who had been struggling going into it. So I expect them to be a little bit more motivated to play. But again, they have to come to us on our floor on a Friday night. It's a tough environment to play in. So we're hoping to play our best volleyball.
Coach, Lauren Van Remortel, she earned WEAC Setter of the Week. How much of this improvement this past week would you say has been due to her play?
It's definitely a part of it. I think in all facets of the game we were struggling, and Lauren, made a conscious effort. She came in a couple days early to practice, to get extra reps in, to see if she can kind of perfect her touch and connection with players. It's not there with everybody right now, but what she did this weekend was huge to our success. Being able to deliver a hittable ball and find the right hitter to set, because it's not just how you deliver the set, it's the decision of who to set, right, based on the defense on the other side of the net, the block. And I thought she made some really good decisions. I think that, assisted, like we were talking about with Rain Thompson's success. I think Lauren giving her the ball at the right times really allowed her to be successful. And I'm proud of Lauren. Lauren and I have known each other now for like 7 years, which is a crazy long relationship to have between a player and coach that's still an active member of the roster. But, when we recruited her, and then she's using her COVID year and getting her 5th year here. So I've watched Lauren develop not only as an athlete, but as her IQ within the game. And so to have her get kind of this recognition, I think is exciting, not only for our program department, but for her individually to kind of realize like, hey, this work I'm putting in, I'm seeing those results.
And have you spoken with her about receiving this accolade yet?
I just texted her in the morning when I heard from Zach, and I just said, hey, you got Setter of the Week, congratulations. And she said, wow, that's awesome. And that was it. And so every time, awards are given at the beginning of practice, we'll acknowledge Lauren and make sure that, the team acknowledges what she had done. But I'll always say this, individual successes are team successes, right? If we don't pass the ball well, Lauren's not able to properly distribute it, and she's not receiving this award. And then those hitters that we kind of alluded to getting the job done also help Lauren. So yes, really happy for her, but overall I'm just happy for the team as a whole to have that.
And one last question, taking you back to earlier last week, you mentioned that NMU, MTU kind of feels like Michigan, Ohio State. Would you say that beating MTU kind of felt like beating Ohio State?
Yeah, it was like when Michigan beat Ohio State at Ohio State, right? and it was a great feeling, for a variety of reasons. I think I'd alluded that, I'm a really big fan of Coach Jennings over there at Tech and what he does with his programs, but there's no doubt this match mattered. And even walking into the building on Wednesday after the win, the response I got from people just walking past me, it just, again, reminds you, okay, this matters. I spoke on Friday to they're called like the Marquette Retirees. It's a group of people that meet. And I went up there with the team, we talked, and the first thing they talked about was how we beat Michigan Tech. So it matters. It felt good. They're coming back here on Halloween, so we have to be ready for them to have that kind of revenge attitude and be ready. But in the meantime, we're just going to enjoy it.